I never thought I'd end up in handcuffs for something I didn't do, but that's exactly what that entitled would try to pin on me. Right there in the middle of our quiet cul-de-sac, with half the neighborhood rubbernecking like it was the Super Bowl halftime show. Picture this, me as single dad just trying to get my kid to soccer practice, and her the self-appointed HOA Queen Bee, flinging herself onto my hood like a discount stunt double in a bad action flick, screaming about assault before the tires even squeaked. And the kicker? She wasn't just any busybody. She was the CEO of some fancy tech startup, the kind who tweets about disrupting everything while her own life's a hot mess of fake lashes and passive-aggressive emails. It started with a goddamn mailbox flag. Yeah, you heard that right. A 2-inch piece of red plastic that I forgot to flip down after checking the mail the night before. In our pristine little slice of suburbia outside Austin, Texas, where the lawns are greener than envy and the property values are higher than a Tesla stock spike, that was apparently grounds for World War III. I'd moved into Willow Creek Estates 6 months earlier, fresh off a nasty divorce, with my 8-year-old son, Max, in tow. The place was a steal, thanks to a job transfer at Dell that had me crunching numbers all day and playing Uber for Little League all evening. I figured it'd be a fresh start. Barbecues on the 4th, block parties with lukewarm beer, the American dream wrapped in vinyl siding. But then there was Karen Whitaker. God, even her name sounds like a Karen starter pack. She rolled up in her gleaming white Range Rover the very first week, clipboard in hand, her yoga pants stretched to the breaking point over thighs that could crush walnuts. At 45, she was the undisputed ruler of the HOA board, elected unopposed because no one else wanted the headache of enforcing rules about fence heights and holiday light durations. By day, she led Whitaker Innovations, a boutique app development firm that specialized in productivity tools for overachievers who couldn't tie their own shoes without an algorithm. Her LinkedIn bio gushed about empowering women in STEM, but from what I gathered at the welcome potluck, it was mostly her barking orders at underpaid interns while sipping oat milk lattes. Our first run-in was benign enough. I was power washing the driveway, trying to erase the ex's crayon scribbles from the concrete, when she waddled over, her flip-flops slapping like Judgment Day. "New neighbor," she drawled in that fake southern lilt she affected for board meetings. "I see you've got that flag up. Rule 4.2. Mailbox flags must be lowered post-collection to maintain aesthetic uniformity." I blinked, hose dripping in my hand. It's been up for like 12 hours. Wind probably knocked it. She didn't smile. "Aesthetics don't wait for excuses, hon. We've got standards here. Honorable like we were sorority sisters." I lowered the damn flag, muttered something about overkill, and went back to my suds. Max thought it was hilarious, called her flag lady for weeks. But Karen didn't forget. Oh no. She started small, the way Karens do. Anonymous notes slipped under my door about visible toys in the yard. Max's soccer ball rolled 5 feet from the garage. And unapproved vehicle parking, my F-150, which fit perfectly in the assigned spot but apparently offended her SUV's ego. Then came the emails, CCNG the entire board with subject lines like potential covenant violation, 147 Oak Ridge Lane. I ignored most, figuring it'd blow over. Big mistake. By month 3, she'd escalated to fines. $50 for excessive noise from Max's birthday party. It was 1 balloon pop and a piñata that lasted 10 minutes. I paid it, teeth gritted, because who has time for HOA drama when you're solo parenting? The real feud ignited over the community pool. Willow Creek had this Olympic-sized gem, chlorine-scented paradise with a lazy river that Max lived for. I'd signed us up for family swim hours, but Karen, ever the gatekeeper, patrolled like a lifeguard on steroids. One scorching Saturday in July, we're splashing around, Max cannonballing off the edge, when she storms up in a muumuu that could double as a sail. "Excuse me," she hisses, water beating on her Botox forehead, but children under 10 aren't allowed in the deep end without formal certification. Max was in floaties, paddling like a pro. I laughed it off. "He's fine, look, he's got his wings on." Wrong answer. Her face turned the color of overripe tomatoes. Rules are rules. And, as board president, I'm citing you for endangerment. Endangerment? For a kid in armbands? She slapped me with a formal warning that afternoon, complete with photos she'd snapped mid-splash, grainy evidence of reckless supervision. The board backed her, of course. Most were her golf buddies or terrified minions. I fired off a reply all rant. This is absurd. Let kids be kids, Karen. Not everything needs a lawsuit. Big mistake number 2. She screenshotted it, blasted it to the neighborhood Facebook group with a caption. New resident shows disregard for our community's safety. Who's with me? The likes poured in from her echo chamber, dozens of blue-check soccer moms and retired execs who wouldn't know fun if it bit them in the Birkenstocks. Retaliation was swift. My Amazon packages started disappearing. Porch pirates with a vendetta, I suspected. Then the landscaping crew, hired by the HOA, accidentally mulched over my flower bed, killing the petunias I'd planted for Max's mom. I confronted her at the next board meeting, voice steady but fists clenched under the table. This has to stop. It's personal now. She leaned back in her pleather chair, smirking like she'd won the lottery. Personal? Honey, this is governance. If you can't handle the heat, maybe Austin proper is more your speed. The room tittered. I stormed out, vowing to fight fire with. Well, something smarter than fire. That's when I started digging. Late nights after Max was asleep, I'd scroll through public records, LinkedIn deep dives, even that shady neighborhood gossip forum on Reddit. Turns out, Karen's empire was built on sand. Whitaker Innovations, a house of cards funded by her ex-husband's alimony. The same guy who'd bailed after catching her in bed with the pool boy, or so the whispers went. Her empowering women shtick? A front for undercutting competitors with shady NDAs and poaching talent via LinkedIn DMs. And the HOA, she chaired it to launder donations into her personal slush fund, fancy trips disguised as conferences. I had screenshots, emails forwarded by a sympathetic board member who'd grown weary of her tyranny. Revenge wasn't just sweet, it was served with a side of schadenfreude. But I played it cool, smiled at block parties, waved when her Range Rover idled too long at stop signs. Max noticed the tension, asked why Flag Lady glared at us from her porch swing. Just grown-up stuff, buddy, I'd say, ruffling his hair. Inside, I was plotting. The opportunity came on a muggy September evening, Labor Day weekend. I just wrapped a backyard cookout, burgers charred just right, neighbors toasting with Shiner Box when my phone buzzed. A fine notice, $200 for unauthorized grill usage, because my Weber encroached 2 inches onto the communal grass strip. 2 inches. That was it. I snapped. Not violently. No, that'd play right into her hands. Instead, I drove to the HOA office, a glorified shed behind the clubhouse, slipped my dossier under the door, printed emails, bank statements, Reddit threads calling her out as Scamanda Whitaker. Anonymous, but pointed. Time to disrupt the real disruptor, I scrawled on the envelope. The next morning, the Facebook group exploded. Is this true about Karen? Board meeting tonight. Demands for audit. Her posts went radio silent. Sweet, petty victory. She cornered me that afternoon, sweat beading under her foundation as she blocked my driveway with that damn Rover, tires kissing the curb like a threat. Max was inside, glued to Fortnite. I was hauling groceries, arms full of milk and malice. You think you're clever? She spat, jabbing a manicured finger in my chest. Those lies? I'll sue you into oblivion. Lies? I dropped the bags, eggs cracking on the pavement. Call them what you want, Karen, but the board's auditing your expenses tomorrow. Enjoy the show. Her eyes narrowed to slits, the kind that promise chaos. You have no idea who you're messing with. Then, as I turned to salvage my groceries, she did the unthinkable. With a theatrical yelp that echoed down the street, she hurled herself backward, arms flailing, landing ass first on my hood with a thud that dented the grill. Help! He's trying to run me over, she wailed, clutching her ankle like it was severed. Neighbors poured out, Mrs. Patel from across the street, the jogger duo in neon spandex, phones up, filming the farce. I froze, keys dangling from the ignition I'd barely turned. What the? Karen, get off my car. But she was in full Oscar mode, rolling dramatically onto the asphalt, skirt hiking up to reveal cellulite and spite. Call 911. Assault. Hit and run. Sirens wailed in the distance. Someone had already dialed. Cops arrived in a blur of blue and white, badges glinting under the relentless Texas sun. Officer Ramirez, a no-nonsense Latina with a ponytail tighter than her patience, knelt by Karen as she sobbed crocodile tears. "Ma'am, can you describe what happened?" He gunned it right at me," Karen gasped, pointing a trembling finger. "I was just talking, and bam, tried to mow me down in my own neighborhood." Ramirez eyed the scene. My truck stationary, groceries splayed like crime scene evidence, Karen's injuries suspiciously bruise-free. "Sir," she said, turning to me. Heart pounding, I kept it calm. "She's lying. We argued about HOA stuff. She blocked my drive. I told her to move, then this circus act." The neighbors chimed in, videos rolling on their screens, capturing every flop and fake sob. "Looks staged," muttered the jogger. Mrs. Patel nodded vigorously. "She's been feuding with him for months." Ramirez's partner, a burly guy named Kowalski, helped Karen to her feet, her limp vanishing the second she stood. "Ma'am, we need to check the vehicle for damage." They inspected. A fresh dent, sure, but from her weight, not velocity. "And the dash cam?" I'd installed one after the package thefts. Kowalski synced it to his tablet, and there it was, crystal clear. Karen positioning herself, the exaggerated dive, my shocked freeze frame. Her face drained of color, foundation cracking like her facade. "That's edited. Deep fake," she bleated, but Ramirez wasn't buying. "Ma'am, filing a false police report is a felony in Texas. Obstruction, fraud, the works." Backup arrived, and just like that, they cuffed her, right there on my lawn, as the neighborhood watched in stunned silence. No dramatic music, just the click of metal on wrists and her muffled curses. "This isn't over. I'll own this street." They hauled her away in the back of a cruiser, taillights fading into the sunset. Max peeked from the window, wide-eyed. "Dad, did Flag Lady get in trouble?" I pulled him into a hug. "Yeah, buddy. Sometimes the rules catch up to everyone." But the real sting came later that night as I scrolled the news feeds. Whitaker Innovation stock, privately held, but whispers of investor pullouts, tanked overnight. The board ousted her at emergency session. Audits revealed she'd skimmed $15,000 for wellness retreats in Napa. Her ex-husband's lawyers circled like vultures, citing the arrest as moral turpitude to claw back alimony. By week's end, her LinkedIn was a ghost town, profile pic swapped for a stock photo of a serene beach. Ironic, since she'd never touched sand without a cabana boy. I didn't gloat publicly. Raised Max with the lesson. Kindness wins, but truth levels the field. But in quiet moments, nursing a lone star on the porch, I'd chuckle at the irony. The CEO who disrupted lives? Disrupted herself into oblivion. Bitter? For her, absolutely. For me? Cathartic as hell. Willow Creek felt a little freer after that. Flags down, grills fired up, no more queens on thrones of spite. Wait, that's not the end. Far from it. Turns out, Karen's downfall was just the appetizer. A month later, as leaves turned gold and Halloween pumpkins dotted stoops, the real revenge unfolded. Not by my hand, but by the karma I'd unwittingly unleashed. See, her arrest video went viral. First on local TikTok, then picked up by those true crime podcasters who love a good suburban scandal. HOA horror, CEO fakes injury, gets busted live, racked up millions of views, the comments a bonfire of schadenfreude. Classic Karen meltdown, faced with tears of joy, bet she sues the handcuffs next. Empower this, Whitaker. Her company? Crumble like a stale, gluten-free cookie. Key clients bailed, afraid of the toxic leadership stain, and her board, all yes-men in ill-fitting polos, jumped ship faster than rats from the Titanic. I heard through the grapevine, Mrs. Patel's bridge club is better than the CIA, that she tried a teary mea culpa video, a momentary lapse in judgment, but the algorithm buried it under cat reels. Desperate, she pivoted to consulting, crisis management for high-profile executives. Ironic, right? The woman who'd faked a car hit now coaching others on dodging PR bullets. Meanwhile, life in Willow Creek bloomed. The new board prez, a chill retiree named Hank who brewed his own IPA, slash fines, and greenlit food truck for game nights. Max joined the swim team, no certifications required, and our cul-de-sac became the spot for impromptu kickball. I even started dating again. A barista from the local Starbucks, all tattoos and easy laughs, who thought the Karen saga was peak Texas. We'd swap stories over tacos, her eyes lighting up at the dent still puckering my hood. Trophy, she called it. Damn right. But Karen? She slunk back like a bad sequel. Rented a McMansion 2 blocks over. Downgraded from ownership, whispers said after the divorce lawyers gutted her nest egg. Spotted her once at the grocery store, pushing a cart piled with frozen Weight Watchers and cheap wine. Her once signature blowout, now a limp ponytail. She avoided my aisle, but I caught the glare, pure venom, diluted by defeat. Part of me pitied her, a woman so hollow she'd stage her own victimhood for validation. The rest reveled in the justice. Then came the clapback I never saw coming. November hit with a vengeance, turkey trots and early sunsets, and my inbox lit up with a subpoena. Karen, from the depths of her rented despair, had sued me for defamation and emotional distress. $500,000, she claimed, for ruining her reputation. Her lawyer's letter dripped legalese. Your baseless accusations led directly to Ms. Whitaker's professional demise. Baseless? The dash cam said otherwise. I laughed, so hard Max thought I'd lost it. Hank rallied the troops, crowdfunded a defense fund via the neighborhood app. No bully gets the last word, he posted, and wallets opened. $10 from the Patel Kids lemonade stand, $500 from a tech bro who dodged her networking scams. My barista gal, Lena, even organized a justice jamboree, potluck with a side of pitchforks, where we brainstormed countersuit ideas over brisket sliders. Slander? For telling the truth. Lena snorted. Counter with malicious prosecution. Make her pay your therapy bills for the eggs alone. Court day dawned crisp and clear. Travis County Courthouse buzzing like a hive. Karen swept in late. New lawyer in tow. A slick ambulance chaser with a comb-over that screamed settle out of court. She looked diminished. The muumuu swapped for a ill-fitting sheath dress, cheeks hollowed by skipped spin classes and spite. Our eyes met across the gallery. Hers pleading, almost human. Mine? Steel. The judge, a grizzled vet named Harlan with a drawl like molasses, reviewed the footage first. Ms. Whitaker, this appears performative. Her lawyer stammered objections, but the dash cam was damning. Time-stamped, unedited, neighbor corroborated. Testimony flew. Hank on the skimmed funds, Mrs. Patel on the package pilferings. Turns out Karen had a lost and found habit, even a whistleblower intern from her firm, zooming in from Silicon Valley to spill on the NDAs. Karen took the stand, voice quavering. I was scared. He intimidated me. Intimidated? The woman who'd blocked my drive and body-slammed my truck? The courtroom tittered. Cross-exam shredded her. So you claim assault, but medical records show no injuries beyond a minor contusion. Self-inflicted? Her lawyer folded like origami. Dismissed with prejudice, plus sanctions. She owed me $20,000 in fees, plus a public apology in the HOA newsletter. I regret my actions and affirm Mr. Harlan's innocence. It read, buried between pumpkin patch ads. Bitter pill? She'd choke on the whole bottle. Last I heard, Whitaker Innovations rebranded under new ownership. Her name scrubbed like graffiti. She vanished from Austin, rumors placing her in a condo in Florida, consulting for timeshare scams. As for me, promoted at Dell, Lena and I shacking up in the old place, her succulents mingling with Max's Legos. We host barbecues now, no fines, just fireworks on the 4th. And that den in the hood, buffed out, but the story, etched forever. Revenge isn't always a dish best served cold. Sometimes it's piping hot, with a side of popcorn for the audience. Karen taught me that. And damn, if it wasn't the best lesson in standing your ground. But hold up, because if you think that's the finale, you're underestimating the universe's sense of humor. Christmas rolled around like a freight train of tinsel and regret, and with it Karen's ghost refused to stay buried. Picture this. I'm stringing lights on the eaves, Max handing me hooks, Lena blasting Mariah Carey from a Bluetooth speaker when my phone dings. An email from an unknown sender. KarenW@protonmail.com. Subject: Merry Christmas, asshole. Inside, a novella of bile. Recaps of the trial, rigged by your redneck cronies. Vows of vengeance, I'll bury you in appeals. And a cherry-on-top attachment. A Photoshop meme of me as a cartoon villain, captioned driveway dictator meets his match. Blocked, deleted, but the chill lingered. Was this rock bottom, or prelude to round two? I showed Lena. She cackled, forwarding it to our lawyer buddy for kicks. Stalking charges next? But deeper it gnawed. Why me? Why this endless loop of loathing? Therapy sessions with Max's school counselor, pro bono, thanks HOA settlement. Unpacked it. Karen's like her thrive on control, crumble when it's yanked. My betrayal. Exposing her was personal Armageddon. She wasn't just mad. She was unraveled. New Year's brought the twist. Hank calls, voice giddy. Turn on Channel 6, Karen's meltdown live. There she was on the evening news, cornered outside a Palm Beach courthouse. Florida, indeed, sued by her own condo board for disruptive behavior. Footage showed her shrieking at a security guard, flailing a pool noodle like a lightsaber. You can't ban me. I'm a valued resident. The anchor deadpanned. Former Austin exec, recently in headlines for a staged assault claim, faces eviction. Clips intercut. Our dash cam, her viral flop. National Now, Fox and Friends dubbed her the faking CEO. Views skyrocketed. Podcasts invited her for redemption arcs. But she ghosted, dignity in tatters. Last dispatch? A Glassdoor review for her consulting gig. 1-star, anonymous, hired for crisis advice. Instead, created one. Avoid if you value sanity. Poetic, really. The woman who'd blocked paths, now barred from her own. Spring thawed the chill. Max's birthday bash, no Karens invited, featured a bounce house and Lena's Trace Letch's cake. As we sang off-key, I glanced at the driveway. Smooth asphalt, no dents, no drama. Willow Creek whispered on. Kids biking, grill smoking, flags fluttering free. Karen? A cautionary tale, faded like old tattoos. Betrayal stings, sure, but revenge? It's the balm that heals crooked. And if she emails again, I'll hit reply. Happy holidays. Drive safe. Because some endings aren't bows. They're skid marks, leading nowhere but forward. I woke up that first Monday after the arrest feeling like I'd won the lottery, but without the tax headache. Sun streamed through the blinds of my ranch style, casting stripes on the hardwood Max had decorated with Sharple last month. Lena was already in the kitchen, flipping pancakes shaped like dinosaurs, her specialty, while humming some indie folk tune from her Portland days. Morning, hero, she teased, sliding a plate my way. Max bounded in, syrup-sticky fingers waving his iPad. Dad, you're famous. Look, Karen Gets Karened has 500K likes. I groaned, but clicked anyway. The video montage was gold. Slow mo of her hood dive, overlaid with dramatic orchestral swells and subtitle zingers like when the algorithm turns on you. Comments were a roast fest. This is better than Real Housewives. HOA reform starts here. Abolish the Karens. My mentions? Flooded with high fives from strangers. As a fellow victim, thank you. Victim? Nah. I was the victor, sipping coffee black as my mood had been pre-revenge. Work that day was a circus. Coworkers at Dell clustered around my desk, replaying the clip on loop. Dude, you body slammed a metaphorically, laughed my boss Raj, slapping my back. He bumped my Q4 bonus for community service. Lunch was on him, Whataburger run, taquitos all around. Even the IT guy, usually buried in servers, quipped, next time, dash cams on everything, including the toilet. Laughter echoed down the hall, a far cry from the water cooler whispers I'd endured during the divorce. But fame's a double-edged sword, especially in the feeds. By afternoon, the trolls emerged. Karen stands decrying misogyny, poor woman, just enforcing rules, and doomsayers predicting my cancellation, wait till her lawyers strike. I muted the noise, focused on spreadsheets, Pivot tables over pity parties. After all, this wasn't about likes. It was about liberation. No more tiptoeing around her glares. No more fines for fictional infractions. Freedom tasted like honey-glazed bacon. Evening brought the neighborhood debrief. Hank fired up the fire pit in his backyard. Esmore's mandatory, and half the block showed. The Patels with samosas, the joggers with craft IPAs, even quiet Mr. Ellis from the corner lot, who'd never spoken more than howdy. Stories spilled like cheap Merlot. Karen's reign of terror revisited. She fined me $100 for bird feeders, attracting pests, she said. Pests? Those aren't vermin. Mrs. Patel fumed. The joggers tag-teamed. Try to ban our podcast during runs. Disruptive audio pollution. We howled, flames crackling in rhythm. Hank raised a solo cup. To new beginnings, and no more clipboard Nazis. Cheers echoed, stars winking overhead. Max, toasting with root beer, piped up. Can we rename the street Anti-Karen Lane? Gales of laughter. Lena squeezed my knee under the Adirondack chair. You're their folk hero now. Hero? Just a dad who'd had enough. But in that glow, firelight on faces, stories weaving like smoke, it felt close. Sleep came easy that night, dreams free of Range Rovers and red flags. But dawn brought the backlash bite. My phone buzzed at 6 a.m. Unknown number, voicemail, Karen's voice, slurry with sobs or scotch, I couldn't tell. You ruined everything. My kids, they won't talk to me. Happy now. Kids? She'd mentioned none in her tirades, but digging later confirmed. 2 college-age offspring, estranged long before Austin. Guilt flickered, collateral damage, but snuff quick. She chose the stage, spotlights burn. Lena fielded the next call, her tattooed arms crossed like a bouncer. Ma'am, this is harassment. Cease or we'll press charges. Click. We blocked the line, but the unease lingered, a low hum under the domestic hum. Max sensed it, drawing angry lady in jail at school. Teacher called, gentle warning about inappropriate themes. I framed it instead. Art's honest like dad's dashcam. Midweek, the HOA audit dropped like a Mike Hank emailed the report. $17,000 unaccounted, conferences to Vegas spas, materials for her home office bar card. Board vote, unanimous ouster, restitution ordered. Her replacement? A rotating council, term limited to curb tyrants. Democracy, Texas style, Hank quipped. I donated my settlement share to a community fund, pool upgrades, kid events. Pay it forward, not hoard the grudge. Karen's silence stretched, but her shadow loomed. Grocery run Saturday, and there she was, 2 aisles over, rifling rice brands with shaky hands. No yoga wear, just sweatpants sagging at the waist, hair a bird's nest. Our carts collided at the checkout. She froze, eyes darting like a cornered possum. I'm sorry, she mumbled, barely audible over the scanner beep. Sorry? The word hung, fragile as wet tissue. I nodded civil, move on, Karen. We all should. She bolted, cart rattling abandonment. Was it closure? Halfway. The apology echoed in therapy. Lena dragged me to couples sessions. For the win, not the war. We unpacked. My divorce rage projected onto her empire, her control freakery masking mommy wounds. Wiki deep dive. Absent dad. Overachiever syndrome. Forgive to forget, the shrink droned. Easier said, but holidays loomed, and spite's a lousy gift. Thanksgiving. Turkey at the Patels, curry fusion feast. Max carved the bird, like a surgeon, while stories swapped to family foibles. No Karen mentions. She'd become myth, not monster. Black Friday, Lena and I hit the sales. Her for vinyl, me for tools, elbowing crowds with grins. This is living, she said, clutching a Fleetwood Mac LP. Damn straight. December dusted frost on pumpkins. Max's school play cast him as a wise man, because you're chill, Dad. Rehearsals filled evenings, costumes sewn by Lena's steady hands. I volunteered sets, plywood palaces, gold spray paint glamour. Normality nested, cozy as cocoa. Then, the letter. Certified mail, crisp envelope. Whitaker versus Harlan. Notice of appeal. $500,000 ballooned to $750,000. Claims of conspiracy with media. Her Florida lawyer, this time, a shark with veneers. Lena cursed in Spanish. I laughed, dark and defiant. Bring it. We got the tape. Hank mobilized again. Fundraiser gala. HOA Heroes Ball at the clubhouse. Black tie optional. Jeans encouraged. Band playing covers. Silent auction. My Dennetthood Fender as battle relic. Bid soared. $800 to the pool fund. Toasts toasted. To truth tellers and troll slayers. Max MC'd the kids' raffle, beaming in a clip-on bow tie. Court reconvene. January thaw, but tempers iced. Karen testified remote. Zoom lag hiding her pallor. He orchestrated it all, she claimed, voice pixelated. The video? Doctored. The audit? Vendetta. Judge Harlan, no relation, thank God, arched a brow. Ms. Whitaker, appeals require new evidence. Yours is reheated grievance. Her lawyer floundered. Cross-exam cued the intern again. Live this time, whip-smart kid in a blazer, dismantling NDAs like Lego. Dismissed. Again. Sanctions doubled. $40,000 plus gag order. She vanished post-ruling, LinkedIn nuked. Rumors. Bankruptcy filing, condo foreclosure. Bitter? She'd marinated in it. Valentine's, Lena and I escaped to hill country. Cabins, Cabernet, no cell service. Stars blanketed, we talked futures. Ring maybe, Max's braces fund. You my disruptor, she whispered. Cheesy, perfect. Spring bloomed literal. Azaleas riding pink. Max's team winning districts. Karen? Footnote. One last ping. Anonymous Venmo. $50 from KW. Restitution drip? Ignored. Summer solstice barbecue. Block full, grills groaning. As sun dipped, I raised a shiner. To paths cleared, and Karen's conquered. Laughter rose, fireflies dancing. Revenge? Not the goal. Resilience? The prize. And in America's heartland home, that's the real American dream. But resilience has its cracks, and summer's swelter cracked mine wide. July 4th dawned with fireworks, literal and figurative. Lena and I, bleary from a late-night rom-com binge, bundled Max into the truck for the parade. Small-town Austin style, floats of papier-mâché longhorns, baton twirlers and star-spangled shorts, politicians tossing candy like bribes. Max waved a sparkler, eyes wide as the mayor's convertible honked past. Dad, can we light ours at home? Tradition called. Backyard booms, legally iffy but neighbor nodded. Homecoming brought the bomb. Package on the porch, not Amazon, but a manila bubble. No return address, postmark Orlando. Inside, a USB drive and note scrawled in loopy cursive. Watch. Then weep. "'Kay." Heart thudding. I plugged it into the laptop. Lena peering over, Max safely at a playdate. Video opened. Shaky cam, time-stamped last week. Karen, in a dimly lit condo. Palm shadows frond dancing on walls, facing a webcam. No makeup mask, raw, ravaged. If you're seeing this, she rasped, voice like gravel gin, it's because I can't fight anymore. You won. Happy, she spilled. The appeals, the evictions, the kids' radio silence. They saw the news. Call me that crazy lady. Tears tracked mascara ruins. I built everything from nothing. After Dad left, Mom's debts. Whitaker was my proof. I matter. Cut to home movies, grainy VHS transfers. Teen Karen in braces, valedictorian gown, wedding clips, ex-beaming before the pool boy pivot. But power, it twists. The HOA control I never had. You? Mirror to my mess. Confession cascaded. Schemes for therapy she skipped, fakes for attention starved. The car thing? Desperate. Thought victimhood would vindicate. She laughed hollow. Instead, viral villain. Lost the company, the house, the facade. Now, bartending at a beach bar. Irony's my only tipper. Plea closed. Delete this. Or share. Emmy proper. Just. No, I was human once. I sat stunned, cursor hovering. Lena's hand on my shoulder. What now? Share? Schadenfreude's sirens sang. Post it. Watch the feeds feast. But human? That plea pierced. Max's crayon portraits flashed. Not monsters, just misguided. I formatted the drive. Note to Ash in the sink. Let her fade, I said. Lena nodded, proud. Mercy over malice. August baked the block. AC units hummed dirges. Work ramped. Dell project deadlines. Late nights coding. Lena launched a side hustle. Custom mugs with snarky quotes. Don't Karen me, bro. Sold out at the farmer's market. Karen saga as lore. Max started 3rd grade. Braces gleaming. Shark teeth, he grinned. Drop-offs became rituals. High fives at the crosswalk. Teacher chats over coffee. But ghost gossip. September equinox. Hank's barbecue invite included a whisper. Karen's back. In town, job hunting. Intel from a realtor pal. She'd slumped to Austin, crashing with a cousin in the exurbs. Resume padded with consulting hiatus. Desperation or defiance? I shrugged it off, flipped burgers instead. Equinox Eve, doorbell chimes post-bedtime. Porch light reveals her. Karen, in thrift store jeans, hair tamed to a bob. No clipboard armor, just a Tupperware of. Brownies? Truce, she offers, voice small. Lena hovers in the hall. Wary. I step out, door ajar. What do you want? Blunt but fair. Closure. Or amends. Brownies thrust forward, nut-free for the kid. Awkward. We sit on the steps, distance polite. She unspools. Floor to flop. Bar shifts blending my ties for millennials who side-eyed her. Recognize me once. Aren't you that fake-out lady? Tipped a nickel. Bitter chuckle. Applied here, admin gig at a startup. Rejected. Cultural fit my ass. Why tell me? You started at the dossier. Fair fight. But the video. You didn't share. What? Honesty hour. I shrugged. Everyone breaks. No point kicking shards. Her eyes welled. Real this time. I envied you. Solo dad, holding it together. Me? Crumbling castle. Vulnerability veiled venom. I saw the girl in the clips. Truce tentative. Brownies decent, fudgy, not poisoned. Chat veered in neutral. Max's soccer. Austin's heat. She rose, shadow long. Thanks for not finishing me. Gone into night, Tupperware empty. Fall foliage faked vibrancy. Texas oaks, stubborn green. Lena processed over wine. Pity party or pivot? Pity mostly. But pivot possible? Time's test. Halloween. Max is Spider-Man. Lena Morticia, Gothic glam. Trick-or-treat hall, epic. Karen citing nil. Thanksgiving redux. Patel's fusion, gratitude circle. I voiced, for second chances, given and got. Nods all around. December deepens chill. Office party toasts my year of triumphs. Raj pulls aside. Heard about the drama. Made you sharper. Promotion next quarter. Sharp? Scar but standing. Christmas morn. Max's hall under tree. Bike, Lego Death Star. Lena's gift. Custom dash cam mount. Engraved truth teller. Mine to her. Sapphire ring. Whispered disrupt my life forever. Yes, teary. But Yuletide yields to yips. New Year's Eve. Text from burner. Happy? She's spiraling again. Booze, bad dates. Your mercy missed. Cousin? Crusader? Ignore. January journals fresh. Resolutions. Gym. Gratitude logs. Karen crosses paths at Starbucks. Order. Black coffee. No frills. Nods exchanged. No words. Progress? February frostbite. Max's braces off. Smile supernova. School play redux. He's Hamlet Jr. To grill or not to grill. Lena directs. I build sets. Standing O-earned. March Madness. Dell Crunch. But I coach Max's tourney. Win streak. Whoops of joy. Post-game ice cream. Lena's treat. Proud of you, dad man survivor. April showers. Rain delays games, but blooms burst. Karen spotted job hunting. Barista gig. Ironic echo. Whispers. Humbled. Helping even. May mayhem. End of school bash. Block party redux. Hank's IPA flows. Stories sans spite. Karen? Invite declined politely. Healing solo. June solstice. Longest day, our anniversary. Hill country cabin return. Stars. Stories. No cells. To us. Lena toasts. Us. Unbreakable. July 4th encore. Parade. Pops. Porch fireworks. Max's sparkler spins halos. As booms bloom, I reflect. Revenge road led here. Home. Whole. Karen? Distant dot fading. But dots darken. August alert. News ping. Local woman in DUI crash. Photo. Karen. Mugshot weary. Range Rover totaled. Blood alcohol double limit. Passenger. Cousin's kid. Regret, she tells reporters. Lessons learned late. Bail set high. Court looms. I donate anonymously to Victims Fund. Closure's cousin. Lena hugs. Full circle. September Symphony. Leaves teas turn. Max's birthday, 10, double digits, dinosaur cake. Guest gush, no ghosts. October haunts light. Pumpkin patches, hayrides. Karen plea. Community service, suspended sentence. Rebuild, judge urges. November nuance. Thanksgiving thanks deeper, for grace unearned. Patel's plate fusion. Harmony hums. December dazzle. Holidays hustle. Lights lists. Karen card arrives. Store-bought. Signed. Moving forward. KW. Neutral nod. Year's End Eve. Ball drop watch. Champagne fizz. Max yawns. Resolutions. Mine. More mercy. Less memory. Lena cheers. Countdown calls. 2026 dawns. Resolutions root. Dell leads new team. Lena's mugs merch Max's school. Karen? Barista steady. Whispers sober 6 months. Spring sprouts. Soccer seasons. Set builds. Summer sizzles. Vacations. Big Ben hikes. Stargaze awe. Fall frames. School starts strong. Holidays hearth. Traditions thicken. Life loops loving. Revenge relic. Resilience real. Karen's chapter closed. Mine? Epic ongoing. In Suburbia script, we all rewrite. Bitter ends to better beginnings. Yet even epics edit, and 2026 scripted surprises sharper than sequence. Winter thawed to whispers. Karen's community service slotted at the local shelter. Irony's encore, serving suppers to the down-and-out she'd once deemed aesthetic nuisances. Mrs. Patel volunteered overlap, reported back, humbled, quiet, ladles soup like its salvation. Pity percolated. Had my mercy mattered, or merely masked the mess? January journals jammed. Promotion paperwork, Dell's Innovator Award plaque polished for the mantle. Raj's toast at the ceremony, from driveway defender to department dynamo. Claps cascaded. Lena beamed beside, Max fidgeting in khakis. After party at our place, Shiner toasts, Lena's guac devoured. To underdogs I clinked. Underdog no more. February's frost forged focus. Couples retreat weekend. Austin Hills hot springs. Lena and I soaked stories. Her tattoo tales. Rose for resilience. Anchor for us. My scars. Divorce dents. Karen craters. You're my plot twist, she murmured, steam curling. Ring glinted. Vows veiled but vowed. March marched manic. Max's science fair. Volcano epic. Baking soda blizzard. First place ribbon. Ice cream celebration. Dad, you my lab partner forever? Melted me more than Mentos. April's April foolery flipped. Prank call from Hank. Karen's running for board again. False alarm, but sparked a town hall. HOA 2.0, Transparency Charter. Voted in unanimous. Term limits locked. May's Mother's Day. Lena's brunch. Mimosas, OJ heavy for Max. Gifts galore, spa day from me. Drawing for Max supermom. Karen crossed? Carter cousin. Care of shelter, strength to you. Unsent but thought. June's Jubilee. 10th wedding-ish, us unofficial. Hill Country hoedown. Friends flock, Patels, joggers, Del Crew. Barbecue bonanza, band strumming boot scoot. Max DJ's kid cuts, Lena line dances, laughing loose. July's jubilation. 4th fireworks frenzy, parade prowess, porch pyrotechnics. Boom baptized, Max muses, Dad, remember Flag Lady? She's different now. Insight from 8, wisdom from watching. August's academia. School supplies spree, sneakers scuff day 1. Teacher confab. Max mentions truth cameras, inspired. Dash cam doctrine spreads. September's symphony. Soccer Sundays, sidelines cheers. Lena's league joins. co-ed chaos, goals galore. Karen sighting, coffee queue, collared shirt. Office gig, nods neutral. October's Odyssey, harvest halls, hayrack haunts. Max's Hamlet haunts stage, soliloquy slays. Post-play pizza, pride palpable. November's nostalgia, Thanksgiving tableau, Patel's palace, fusion feast. Gratitude garland, for foes felled, friends forged. Karen's corner, compassion cultivated. December's dazzle, decked halls, dash deliveries. Max's list, world peace, no more Karens. Chuckle shared, New Year nudges, resolutions refined, runs routine, reads ramped. Karen's orbits out, LinkedIn Light, recovery specialist, nonprofit. Pivot Pure, 2027 unfurls. Dell Dreams, lead launch, app acclaim. Lena's line expands, mugs to merch, Karen Free Zone tease tongue in cheek. Spring Spark, wedding whispers, courthouse quickie. Max ring bearer, beaming. Summer Sojourn, Smoky Sojourn, cabins, creeks, constellations. Story Stargaze, from feud to family, Lena Links. Fall's Flourish, Fields Frolic, Football Fridays. Max's middle school milestone, braces redux, but bolder. Holidays Hearth, Hearthstone hangs, harmonies hum. Karen's Yule, year-end yarn from shelter, volunteering vitalized. Thanks for the nudge. 2028 blooms, baby bump, Lena's Our Surprise sequel. Max mentors, teach him dash cams early. Career crescendos, Dell VP vibe, visions vast. Lena's launch, books Suburban Survival, Tales from the Trenches, Karen chapter cloaked but cathartic. Karen's Coda, conference keynoter, from fraud to forgiveness. Attended? Nah. Clips commend, raw real. 2029 dawns, daughter debut, tiny terror, toes in turf. Max Middleman, masterful. Life's ledger, ledgers long, losses lessons, love's legacies. Revenge? Relic rusted. Resilience? Radiant, rooted. Suburbia's score, symphony subtle, sunsets shared, supper savored. American aria, imperfect pitch, but passionately played. Karen's keen, faded flat. Ours, full crescendo. And in that harmony, hand in hand, hearts humming, we harmony on. Bitter bites blunted, sweet sustains. The end? Ever after, edited daily.